Are you Dr. Takao Ameku?
Huh? Who are you?
I'm a first-year resident, Mai Konoike. I'm honored to work with you, Dr. Ameku.
Please never refer to me as Dr. Ameku.
I love that. Hilarious.
It's not that good.
But it's just so ironic. You're tall, but your name's Little Bird. Call me what you want. Your words do not define me. Rising Dragon, bury it! Mighty Stream Splitter!
But how's your night going?
It's going so well. We had a huge storm roll through, and so it's just it's been really peaceful, weirdly. Thunderstorms are great, so
Oh, you like thunderstorms?
I do. Coming from Virginia where they're just long, you get them for 3 hours. As long as they don't bring too much more than thunder, we're good.
Okay. Yeah, we had a few storms here lately, so I'm guessing it transitioned back over to you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at least my car's getting a nice wash.
That's true.
I
All the pollen
want
goes away.
Yeah, I would tell you something funny though. Two things. One, I was actually watching a little video. I was watching the Bat for Blood walkthrough. It's a zombie game, and I was like, man, I remember when I was playing this, and I was too scared to finish the game because these zombies. This ain't like Left 4 Dead no more.
Oh God.
Yeah, I was playing at a few games with my uncle, and I was like, hey, I'll shoot, the hag is back. Listen, if you startle the hag, it will come and eat you and run.
Don't startle the hag. I
I
think
think you
that's just a good life memo, you know?
But thing is, she keeps coming towards me.
Oh, well, that's also a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, they were asking me, oh, where is it? I don't know, man. I'm scared. I don't want to play anymore.
Oh God. It's
So
go for it. Go ahead.
yeah, it's terrifying. Trust me.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for a good scary game though, honestly. I'm a scaredy cat, but I'm a sucker for a good scary game.
What about Phasmophobia?
I've heard a lot about it. Haven't played it.
Okay, you need to get
Yeah.
into
I
it.
just played it's observation something where you have to go through the house and look for anomalies.
Oh, I don't know what that game, but I know what you're talking about. I just forgot
Yeah,
the
it's a
name of
lot.
it.
Yeah, it's because there's nothing, there's nothing, and then there's something, and you're like, I don't like that something. I don't like where
Yeah.
that came from. But
hmm Yes, Phasmophobia is hilarious. So trust me, you have to go inside and take pictures of ghosts without getting caught.
oh, absolutely not. I would lose. I would lose. Literally, I would lose. I would get fired. I'd be like, nope, next. That's
There you
amazing.
go.
Listen,
Second thing I want to also say is that I'm wearing this orange shirt. Can you guess what this stands for?
is that my hero, MHA?
How'd you know?
Just a wild guess, you know?
I'm
Just a
wearing
wild
Baku.
guess.
I'm wearing Bakugan on the back. This is a new collaboration shirt they did with Hot Topic.
Oh, no way. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
iron. It's called the Iron Earned by the Village times Hot Topic.
Ooh, listen, and I'm a little partial to orange, so
That's why I was wearing that shirt because I was like, she has orange hair. I want to respect her orange hair, so I like it. So I was like, let me wear this tonight.
I love it. I love it.
So hope you're okay with me wearing this in our interview today.
I think it's incredible. I love it.
Thanks. Well, if the small talk is over, again, I like small talk first before we go
Mhm.
into this now. I
Let's
guess
do
we
it.
can get this thing, and I guess we can get this night started, shall we?
I think we shall.
So, and good evening, everybody, and happy Saturday. This is Phil. I'm host of the Conversation Podcast, and I have a special guest with me this evening. So, introduce yourself. Who's Katie Wetch I'm speaking to?
Hello. It's me, Katie Wetch.
Mm-hmm. So, it's nice to be able to talk to you. I know we had a little bit of mix up with our schedules, but we made it work.
I know. Busy times.
I mean, once you're in a lot of plays, you were in a lot of plays. I've been seeing your stuff.
Yeah, so I did a couple last year. My partner and I actually got to do 12th night together, which was really cool. And myself, along with two of my very good friends, actually co-founded our first theater company, and we're putting on our first show in October. So lots of stuff
Oh,
happening on that front.
well, there you go. Well, shoot, it's like for theme for like Halloween and all that stuff.
Our our opening weekend is actually on Halloween, and I'm super excited about it. So,
Well, make sure you wear a nice little costume now.
oh yeah.
Shoot, because I was going
Absolutely.
to ask you, with your orange hair, would you dress up as? Let's see. I'm trying to think. What would you dress up as? Which character would you dress up as that has orange hair?
Listen, I've gone for Merida. I think Merida is like the best safe space for me in the moment. Like we got the full green outfit. I'm here for it.
That works. That works. Listen,
Hmm.
it's nice that you mentioned that because I actually watched a few Disney movies a few nights ago. I
Yeah?
was watching The Jungle Book,
Oh, that's a good
then
one.
and then I was watching Monsters Incorporated.
Love Monsters Incorporated.
I was
Is
like,
that, do
man,
you have a favorite?
my favorite one is Cars.
Ooh, yes.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. I love
Oh,
nature.
and The Lion King.
The Lion King is fantastic.
Because I was like, man, those Monsters Incorporated and Cars, those were modern classics.
I agree. I
So
agree.
yeah, the early 2000s were modern classics. I was born in 2000, so that's why I was like, that's my childhood.
That's my shot. Yeah, it's always nice to go back to a little bit of nostalgia. That's
I
me in
mean,
like Emperor's New Groove or Treasure Planet. I just put them on and I'm like, okay, I'm home. Like it's so
don't
nice.
don't forget about Kim Possible.
Can never
That
forget about Kim Possible. That was my ringtone at one point. Do,
Yeah,
do, do, do.
I want to meet the voice actor so bad. Last time I heard, she said she had cancer or something. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, I
So,
hope so too.
so I'm gonna just keep in touch, because we just lost a few great people. We just lost Tom Kane last a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just we're losing legends. And listen,
No.
when I was playing Batman Arkham Knight in 2022 in my dorm, Kevin Conroy passed away the next day.
Oh my God.
Yes,
Uh,
I was just playing. These are my pop figures. I got the whole Arkham trilogy in my room.
yeah.
So I just finished Arkham Knight back in 22 when I was in college. I finished the game. I wake up the
Hmm.
next morning, he's gone.
Oh my gosh. That's
That
hard.
that broke my heart because I was like, Jim, why did you say this is how the Batman died? And then I
Oh,
wake up the next morning, he's gone.
yeah. Oh my gosh. And that's like that's just a heart hitter too. That's really hard.
I can't believe I don't know if it was bad luck or karma. Like I was playing the game just to be playing the story, and then he's dead the next day.
Maybe just like it's like a gentle like ode to like you were doing something in his honor then, you
Mm.
know?
Well, guess what? I still play the Arkham games nonstop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and watch all the other shows he's been in. Thing is, since Tom Kane passed away, I got another show I gotta watch starting tomorrow, Powerpuff Girls.
Yes, Powerpuff Girls.
So I got a
Yes.
lot of stuff recommended, from you guys I've been talking to for now, like shows I got to add to my watch list.
Oh God. It's like it's almost a hobby of mine at this point to like maintain a watch list and a reading list. I'm like, I have like 87 movies and TV shows, but that's okay because I get to make a list and I'm excited about it. So like we got recommendations up and out of my laptop. It's crazy.
Well, let's keep honoring these guys and keep watching those shows.
Absolutely.
So thing. Now, before we get into the main thing, let's do a little bit of an icebreaker. Now,
Sure.
I've seen some of all the stuff you've been doing, like performing. Now, have you ever been on Broadway in New York before?
I haven't. It's a dream for sure, but
You look like you could do it.
that means a lot. Thank you.
I mean, what's stopping you?
Oh, finances and time. But I mean, moving from Virginia to Texas was my first like big move ever as a human being. And um, I mean, I would love to live and work in New York one day. Absolutely. That would be incredible. And to go back to the East Coast for a little bit, but I'm also quite happy here at the time. So
I know I'm not trying to force you. I just thought you've been in a few plays and
mhm.
stuff that I've seen on your Instagram. I just thought, maybe she could. I was like, why doesn't she do Broadway?
That means a lot, though. It's a dream, and it doesn't mean that it wouldn't be in the future. I hope it would be in the future, but
Even if it's just one night of Broadway, then you can come back to Texas, you know.
yeah, just a little
If it's
like,
just
yeah,
yeah, if it's just one night, then that's fine.
that would be amazing. One night, half a night, all of it. It would be incredible.
I was gonna ask, wouldn't your husband be interested in Broadway too?
I think so. I mean, he primarily we met doing stage combat and theater in college. Um, so he's been really into stunts and like fight choreography, all kind of stuff. He's a big Shakespeare guy as well. So that's kind of the track pattern that he's been running, but he does have quite a phenomenal voice. I don't mean to brag about my partner, but
No, it's okay.
he's pretty
Preach.
cool,
You can preach. Listen, no judgment zone. You're in a no judgment zone. So you are fine. But yeah, I just kind of curious because I seen all the stuff that you and your husband be doing, and it's like, they could do Broadway when they get a chance. But that's a discussion for a later date.
Yeah, it would be a dream for sure. And it means a lot to ask that. So thank you.
Well, shoot, if you ever do go to New York, I'll be watching. I may not be able to make it, but at least I'll be watching the Instagrams.
Yeah, thank you.
So
That would be that would be a dream.
there you go. You got to try out their New York pizza.
I've heard very good things about New York and Chicago pizza. So
So trust me, they got some good pizza down there.
I'll give it a try and then I'll give you an update for sure.
Sure thing. Well, now that's the ice is broken, I guess we can get into the main event here. So I guess you saw the questions that I gave you.
Mhm.
So because thing is, I wasn't trying to dive deep into any like future projects that you're getting ready to do. Just
Yeah.
we're here about you tonight, not that. So hope you understand.
Oh, I think it's great. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm trying to get used to giving questions before I talk to people.
It's awesome. And also just, the 15 minutes that I've been here, we've been talking about scary games and pizza and it's been great. I'm having a great time. So,
All right, when something comes to my mind, I just want to talk to him. Plus, I was playing Mario Kart before he came on.
mm, a good game.
Yeah, because I just got Biker Yoshi now.
Oh yeah. Who's your
Yeah.
go-to?
To be honest, my go-to is Mario. I've been a fan of Mario
Okay.
since I was a kid.
I mean, hey, Mario's Mario. Mario's fantastic.
Too, and I just saw the Super Mario Galaxy movie, so there's that. Ooh,
Oh yeah.
and Thursday, I just pre-ordered Star Fox.
Look at you go. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Hey, I'm a huge Nintendo nerd,
Mm-hmm.
so
Love
I
it.
can listen when I see some. Hold on, see.
Yes. Incredible.
So I got my own Nintendo Switch 2 here.
Love it.
So
I'm a shy guy, person myself in Mario Kart and Mario Party, but I think it's the red. I think it's the red hair, you know?
hey, you red-haired girl, you got red hair,
Exactly.
yeah, red stuff. There you go. But yes, I'm a huge Nintendo nerd, so I'm gonna keep playing those games.
Incredible. They're the best. So,
There you go. Well, let's go ahead and get into this, shall we? So now you've been acting for over 20 years. Now, what's the earliest moment where you realized this wasn't something you loved, but something you needed to pursue?
mm, I think it kind of moved from like, oh, I'm so excited to do this and I love it and this is sort of a pastime. I saw my babysitter at the time. I had kind of grown up with her. She was in a production of Into the Woods, and she was one of the stepsisters, and she was so funny, and she was having so much fun. And I remember like looking at my mom and being like, I'm gonna do that. And she was like, oh, thank God. I was like, you okay, let's celebrate going into the arts. Hell yeah. So I think I saw how like exciting storytelling can be and how fun it was to like share with somebody else like that experience. Um, but I don't know, I think I really, really got hooked on it once I got into high school and once I got into the groove. I feel like it's usually just a lot of little moments that build up to one instead of, being this whole like, aha. I think it's just like, yeah, this is right. Like this feels good. You know what I mean?
Mm. And just click because I tell you, like
Hmm.
us as kids back in the day, when we see something we like, this is like something we really want to do.
Yep.
I mean, I could never get into it because it's not for me, but I find other ways to enjoy myself.
Yeah, there's
So
so many ways.
exactly, and, you got like so many people out there who get inspired by all these shows they watch. I spoke to Darian McArthur last month. I think you know who Darian is, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, she's very sweet. So she got inspired when she first watched Jason Griffin's performance in Sonic Unleashed.
Nice.
Yes. Hey, listen, she actually liked some of my Sonic Unleashed videos because I was doing video game walkthroughs. So
That's awesome.
she was geeking out when she saw I was doing Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah. I think it's just like I think that's the thing is like it's such a huge connection and so like whether you're making it or consuming it or in any aspect of any of it, like there's always a connection point like we just talked about, scary video games and connections there and it's just like there's excitement in it and I think there's chances to share things that or experience things that we wouldn't normally get to experience. And I think that's very enticing in a lot of ways for everybody.
Okay. I will ask you another question. What's like, I will say this, like, what TV show did you start watching at first also that helped you like get into that career as well?
Mm, I think if we're talking about voiceover, it was Spirited Away. And I remember I was
Ooh.
like maybe 8 or like 11, I don't know. I was a kid and I remember watching it with my dad and we were laying on the floor of his office and he fell asleep and I was so scared of the river spirit that comes out. I was like, I can't. But I remember being so like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So if we're talking about voiceover, it was definitely Spirited Away.
Oh, you gotta love Studio Gilby. You can't go wrong with Ponyo too now.
You can't go wrong with Ponyo. I love
Yes.
Ponyo.
I wanted to watch it when it first came out, but my grandma and my auntie made me watch G-Force from Disney.
Oh no. Well, you've
Yeah.
seen it now, right?
Yes, I've
There
seen
you
it
go.
now. I was like, it is what it is. Listen, as a kid, I couldn't do much.
I
So I
wasn't
just
allowed to watch Rugrats because Angelica was a bad influence. So
Oh gosh. Not
here we are.
even I will there was another show that they wouldn't let me watch, like Cow and Chicken and Two Stupid Dogs.
Oh my gosh, Cow and Chicken. I forgot about Cow and Chicken. Oh
Yeah.
man. I was
Charlie
scared
at
of Courage.
Char yeah, Charlie Adler is crazy.
That's
Just
a wild time. Oh my gosh.
yeah, all those old 90s classes, even the early 2000s, like there were good animation stuff that helped y'all really get into like, hey, I want to do this kind of thing too.
Yeah,
So
just like zany, like there was now I'm thinking of like Cat Dog and just like anything cartoon. I loved Kids Next Door. I
because of
loved Kids Next Door.
Ed, and Eddie.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I still watch that show to that day. I don't care if it's gone. I still watch it.
Rewatch it. I am a consistent movie and TV show rewatcher. It's like I think it's like a comfort thing, but I'll rewatch stuff all day.
I just started a regular show 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's one
Ever
that I
since
haven't I've seen pieces of and I do enjoy the like format of it. What do you think of it?
it is amazing. Listen, when they did the reboot for the Lost Tapes, I watched a few episodes. I was like, all right, let's go back to the main series.
Yes.
Yeah, my favorite episode. Let's see. My favorite episode out of regular show would have to be, hey, those unicorns have got to go.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
what's that?
in season one. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, they were asking sisters. I said, "Hey, Skips, we need your help. Unicorns. Yeah. How did you know?
Lucky guess.
They peed on my lawn.
No, not unicorn pee.
Yes. And so, but they were saying yeah, but there's one thing that unicorns will never say no to: drag racing.
What? I could see that.
so,
That's
so,
amazing.
so afterwards, like, or they were saying, what if they come back? Oh, they're not coming back. Heck, Benson blew them up.
Oh no. And here I'm over like they'll just drag race forever. Like they'll just go and go and go and go. That's
Yep.
wild.
And of course, Benson gets on his usual rant. I can't believe you let these guys mess up this house. You better clean this mess up right now, or you're gonna wish it was you driving that car.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, regular show is definitely one I want to check out for sure.
Yes, trust me, it's worth your time. I said you'll be amazed by how much trouble Mordecai and Rigby get into. But yes, I'm on season 7. I'm about to get the part when they go into outer space.
Oh my gosh. It's a crazy adventure. We go
Well,
from unicorns to outer space. I'm here for it. Let's go.
well, hey, you're missing out, Kate. Where have you been from 2010 to 2017?
I was running around with my trying to go to school and do the things. I was very into Steven Universe as well. Like I think when we all like kind of went, it was like Adventure Time, regular show, Steven Universe, and I very much leaned into Steven Universe. So now I get to go
Mm,
back and watch all the other ones, which I'm really excited about because I haven't seen
wow.
all of Adventure Time or regular show. So
I see so many people in Steven Universe cosplays these days at conventions.
I love a good Steven Universe cosplay. Steven Universe is, I think it's an incredible show. So
Well, shoot. Shoot, now I got more stuff I need to go back watch back after talking to you.
there you go.
So,
I just started my, I don't even know, another rewatch of Interview with a Vampire.
hmm
That's one I would recommend for your watch list. That's a really good show. And they're coming out with the next episode of the third season tomorrow. So
All right. Well, shoot. See, now I got stuff to watch this summer.
there you go.
Because thing is, next week they're about to bring My Adventures with Superman for season 3 next week. So,
Ooh,
so
so we have a lot to look forward
it's an
to.
anime show mixed with DC Comics.
Nice.
So, my advice, please go watch it. Please go watch the first 2 seasons before
Yeah.
season 3 comes. I'm going to do that all week.
Oh, absolutely. So
So.
I've got regular show and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
There you go. But yes, all those shows that inspired you to be like, I can really do this like for a living. That's how you are now. And you're still you're still making progress. Okay, listen, I've seen all the stuff. Even though you have some of these small time voice actors, listen, slow and steady wins the race. You gotta walk before you can run.
Well, and I
So,
think that's the nicest thing too, is like thinking back to the thing that like originally inspired me and like got me excited. It happens like every once in a while. Like as long as I think it's something you start seeking out, and it's interesting too, because thinking of like non-animation and like just other like TV shows and movies that have inspired me, it's always the bloopers and the behind the scenes that get me more excited for a project. And I think it's just like seeing how excited everybody is to like bring something to a show. Like it just makes me like it and enjoy it more. Like I've been following Interview with a Vampire, and like it's a very good show. Um, but also seeing behind the scenes and how they interact with each other and how close everybody. It's just like when good care is put into something, anything, animated or not, like a good product is made, and if you have fun doing it, then like go for it. And I think it just makes other people love it even more when you have fun. So
well, shoot. Exactly. And listen, I guess what? I wouldn't mind sitting down with you guys and just picking your brains about it. I want to hear you guys' ideas as well.
love that. And I've
So,
loved hearing all of your opinions and what like makes you excited about a project and what shows and stuff you're interested in. Like it's a really cool connection.
well, I am trying to talk to more people instead of just staying in here. Listen, like I said, when I got my bachelor's degree in media production and journalism,
Wow.
I was like, I can't sit here and do nothing.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, hey.
like for the last 3 years, I've been looking for jobs, but I was like, at this point,
Mhm.
I got to get back to doing the journalism side. So
Yeah, that's
that's how I
really
got to
cool.
this. And now, shoot, I'm almost at 100 episodes.
Congratulations. That's
So,
awesome.
so I'm getting close, but the work's not done yet. Gotta stay focused.
Yeah.
So I got it. Next up now, this is about your School of Arts.
Hmm.
Growing up in Virginia and training at Governor's School for the Arts, what were those early years shaping you as a performer?
Mm. Oh, I think a lot of it was discipline, to be honest. Like
That's okay.
getting into your bones, like practices and techniques and getting excited about like kind of seeing where you fit in the industry. Um, and there's always this pressure of like you have to do it early, like you have to do it early. But I love what you said earlier in that it slow and steady wins the race, and it's sort of I think, especially in the last couple years, I've seen it's not always like you hit this one thing and then all of a sudden everything's different or like, oh, you've achieved it and whatever. It's like you get to experience over a long period of time these like small successes or these moments where it feels right or these bigger successes that, make you turn in a different direction. And I think that early schooling was the start of that. And I think it was sort of this, I don't want to say it was a test because that's not what it was, but it was very much a like, do you really want to do this? Like, is this what you want to do? And every time it was a yes for me. And I think that's sort of what that was. It was like, where do you fit in this space? Where do you want to fit in? But also like, do you want to continue to do this? And it was a safe space for me too, growing up. Like, I had a lot of like personal stuff going on when I was a kid, and theater and the arts has always been a space for me to sort of escape that and be creative. And I think that's, the same for a lot of people, whether they're consuming it or creating it. Like it's sort of a safe place. I think that's really cool and necessary.
As long as you feel like you belong somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
you make it happen. And there is another note saying too, like, you're trying to find stuff you want to do for the rest of your life. There's another note saying, hey, choose a job that you love if you never have to work a single day in your life.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And I just saw something, I don't remember where I saw it, but kind of along those same lines. It's the like, um, what would you do or what do you do that feels like work to other people that's enjoyable to you? Then go do that. And that's like exactly along the lines of what you said, which is a cool parallel, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, and listen, I know it gets scary. I will say this. Sometimes it gets very scary when we start to do something new.
Hmm.
But, we just need to like, take baby steps first. Always take those little baby steps.
Yeah.
Instead of just charging in head first, you want to make sure or you know exactly what environment you're about to get yourself expanded into and
Yeah.
understand, hey, okay, now I understand how this whole thing works. I think I can handle it. And most people
Mhm.
don't have, listen, I think you already know this, or I think you already know what imposter syndrome is. So
Oh, yes.
that
Mhm.
too.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And
So
it's just kind of slowly moving through those kinds of things. And I think the super roundabout answer to your question is stamina, discipline, and endurance of like, if this is what you want to do, that was my treadmill. And I was like, okay, time to go. So,
and guess what? You're still doing it today.
which is wild. And I'm incredibly thankful.
Well, shoot, and keep it going. Don't stop. I don't want you to stop what you're doing. But
Just,
just keep
okay.
just I will say this: rest when you can
Mm-hmm.
as well. This
Yes.
rest. Okay, if you get tired from all those events that you guys be doing or directing at Crunchyroll and all that stuff, then shoot, take a break. Let your superiors know first.
Take a sleep. Take a good sleep. We all need a good sleep.
There you go. Now, next up, now, at what point did voice acting enter the picture, and did it feel natural or like leaning into a completely new craft?
Mm. It didn't, so I had always loved it and I was hoping that I would be able to do it. It didn't really come about in my career or in my like kind of skill toolbox until college and like late college. Um, one of my friends that was going to uh school was actually like paying her entire tuition through voiceover, and I was like, that's incredible. And she hosted just like a little character workshop, and I thought it was super 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 neat, and I got excited about it. And then the pandemic hit, and that was interesting. And having gone from like, okay, these are my big plans, and then all of a sudden everything's on hold, you kind of have to redirect and like redirect creatively, and but that's when I really, I think, started finding voiceover. And um we ended up moving. We were gonna move to LA after the pandemic, and one of my best friends moved here, and she was like, you should move to Texas. And I was like, okay. And we moved here, and that's when I started, I think, really seeing how incredible this like this kind of branch of this business is. And there have been incredible people here that have just kind of kept me excited and involved. And so,
Mm. Yeah, I will say this, LA is expensive. That's why they
yes.
got so many studios and stuff. Like they just had a world premiere for the Digital Circus Final Act thing the other night.
Wow.
Yeah. So and then they just had they had a special event for Supergirl. By the way, I'm going to see Supergirl at the end of this month. So, but that's probably after I come back from Florida from another convention. So
Wow.
there's
Nice.
that. There's some
Hmm.
big names out there that I want to go check out. And one of them recognized who I was when I said this would be my third year meeting him, Rico Fajardo, who does Lemillion. And guess what? Surprise, surprise. He started following me on Instagram. So she recognized who I was.
That's awesome.
I
That's
was like,
awesome.
I was like, you can't make this up. But yeah, yeah, I would, well, can I also, well, let me also say this as well. You know, and you'll probably agree with me with this, LA isn't for everybody. I will say that.
Mm,
There's a lot of people who are just getting too exhausted with all the, stuff that's going down in LA as far as like all these movies. Because they the reason why some of you guys live in the West to be closer to the studios. Now, I'm in Georgia, Atlanta is really not that far away from me. I'm like 4 hours
mm,
away.
hmm.
Atlanta's kind of like a mid-sized media hub. There's all those studios up there, like TNT and all that stuff. But
Hmm.
California has more space. Where you got like Hollywood Studios, Disneyland and Marvel, etc. But one thing that I've read that I've listened to in another podcast with Jay Shetty, I think you know who Jay Shetty is.
Mm,
He was doing an interview with Tom Holland. He's about to be in this next Spider-Man movie coming up in next month in July.
hmm.
So what he said really caught my attention, and I do agree with him about this because I know it does get exhausting for you guys out there in California and in Texas. He said, in my opinion, in all honesty, I really don't like Hollywood
Mm,
because it's like he was saying it's a lot of noise and there's a lot of stuff going on, and that's why he was also saying that's why you don't see me at a lot of award shows and red carpets because it's just too much. And I don't blame you guys for having so many cameras on you guys. Like, fame is intoxicating. Being famous is good and all, but it's not what you really want to get after. Because Tom Holland was saying at the end of the day, I just want to live a regular life.
mm. Yeah. Well, and I think, yeah, and that is something, kind of going in a in a direction, going from Virginia to Texas, like there's so many different markets, and I think we're told, especially when you're younger and you're trying to get into the business, like you can either be in LA or New York, and it's like, okay, well, okay, great. But now, especially since more things have been remote, more things are more willing to look at different people in different areas, there's so much more accessibility for people, and there's so many more opportunities, which I think is really great. That you don't just have to live in one of those two hubs. And there's so many different branches of, and just acting, but even beyond acting, in production and in um voiceover, theater, film, like there's so many different routes that you can take, and there's so many different places to do that. Like we have some friends up in Chicago, and you kind of find where you're happiest, and that's where you start to thrive. But I think you kind of have to find where that is. And I think I've been very fortunate, and like I do hope, as like we said before, I would love to work in New York at some point. And um we actually, I would love to visit our friends in Chicago or work in all of these spaces. And there are spaces in Atlanta I would love to be in, but it'll happen within its time if it's supposed to happen. And until then, you just kind of, I think you kind of carve out a space and you find, I think, especially a community that you love being around. And um, if that kind of makes sense,
No,
like, and
it makes sense.
yeah, because, and I think like the business and the industry is starting to move in so many spaces that it makes it more available. Like, there is more um, happening in Texas, and there's a lot of stuff that started in Texas, and that's really exciting. And that doesn't it's like each thing is like a different flavor ice cream, and so you can go and taste these different flavors and see which one suits you or
Mm.
doesn't suit you. And I think that's really cool because we were always told it's either A or failure, and it's like, well, no, there's also like B, C, there's pistachio, there's chocolate chip, like there's all sorts of flavors, and you just kind of find the mix that's your favorite, I think.
Mm. And like I said, before, it takes time to find where you truly belong at. And I know, and we have so many peoples, not just here. You got other people in other countries doing a lot of other stuff. Japan is like,
Hmm.
for shoot, like I know Tokyo, Japan, they have like a lot of expensive toys to play with.
Right.
So, they have all the technology over there. I still want to go there. That's my plan to go for my birthday, hopefully
Yeah.
this upcoming year. But yeah, because thing is, I know so many people, because even you guys, y'all also don't just get limited here. Like, how many conventions are out there outside of the states? it's
Hmm.
it's it's really it's much better than just staying in this one place. And I know because here's the thing. I also said before, like, voice acting is not all that what you guys do. Dude, some of you guys got your own studios in like LA and everything else. Oh, look at you, Katie. You do a lot of performances, like in live action performances. Yes, Abby Trott, Kaylee Mills, they're both singers.
Hmm.
Kaylee Mills does audio engineering. Like you got all those other names doing all kinds of like, writing, what else? It's at the top of my head, directing, etc.
Hmm.
So y'all not just limited to those, not limited to voice acting. There's other stuff you guys could be doing. It's like, for example, hey, okay, we're done with this show. This show's over. What can we do in the meantime?
Yeah. And that's been really cool to see too, moving here, is there's a lot of like, hey, like while we're doing this, I had this idea for this. Do you want to do this together? And there's a lot of creativity for fun as well as creativity for, professional business, you know, larger productions. But there's also these like, hey, I want to get together and share something with you, or like, I'm really passionate about this. One of my really good friends just they did a stage reading of a show last year and then mentioned like, hey, I would love to put this up. And we put it up in April. Like, they pushed for it and they had this dream and they got the people together that needed to make it happen, and we made it happen. And I think that's really cool that there's a lot of like inspiration like that comes from being a part of like a very active creative community, which I think is cool.
Um, I wish I was there to see it, but money wise.
Well, it might not be over. It's something that could get put up again at some point. So if it ever does.
I'll make sure I'll try to get over to Texas. I got some family who are in Texas as well.
Hmm.
So they don't know that I'm talking to you guys. So, but yeah, yeah, I did. Yeah, they're not into this kind of stuff, but I can try to tell them that, hey, you guys are close to, these guys. You can go check them out.
Yeah,
So, but
that'd be
that's like
amazing.
but again, that's a discussion for another day. So, last question, then we'll be in the next section. Okay.
Mhm.
Now you've done theater, voiceover, motion capture, and stage combat. As you just told me, you and your husband do stage combat. Did you always want this to be multidisciplinary, or did it evolve over time?
It definitely evolved over time. Um, but again, like I think that's sort of like the part of the craft that you don't get right away. Like, when I started it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna move to New York and I'm gonna audition for theater and like that's gonna be my whole job. And then you get as you get experience, it was like, oh, well, directing is really cool. And I never had I this is like a weird sentence, but I never picked up a sword before college. Like that was that wasn't like something that I did in my life. And then one of my directors handed me a sword and I was like, I feel so strong, like I feel so powerful. And um it was like something I immediately fell in love with, and now has become a very large part of my career, and I very much enjoy that side of it. Um, I think it kind of goes back to that like image of a toolbox. Like you kind of you buy your toolbox and you're like, yeah, I love it. It's red and it has 3 levels, but it's like very, I have a wrench and I have a screwdriver. And then as you go in your career and you spend time, and like I'm still very new in a lot of aspects in my career, and you start like finding these cool new, you get a leveler and you get like a drill, a power drill, and you're like, oh, I think this will be easier. And you can start seeing how all of these things intertwine with each other and kind of fill out your career. But it's also really encouraging because it shows that like not everybody is going to have the same track. So there isn't just one way to do this. There's so many ways to do this for a living or for fun or whatever you want to do, and make it a possibility. So I think, yeah, I didn't expect it, but I'm really glad that it exists. So
Hey, you'd be surprised what can happen and throughout these years. Like,
hmm
shoot, like can you believe that, I didn't think that I'd be doing something like this when I was in high school because I was just mostly just paying attention to like, listen, I was only 18, but I
yeah.
had to mature over time to get to understand what exactly how I'm going to be successful no matter what I'm doing. And listen, it's part
hmm
of growing up. It's part of growing up. So don't put the burden on you. And listen, I will say this, I'll say this another thing too. If I can also, me and my dad had a conversation. He's been listening in to some of the stuff that I've been doing.
Nice.
And he was saying, like, sometimes you feel like you have to put the burden on yourself. I don't know if that's the case. Maybe I am putting the burden on myself, but I'd be listening to you guys' stories.
Mm.
Listen, go see a therapist. Go see a therapist. That always helps too. That always helps too. But I feel like I'm doing a good job. I just go, oh, but sometimes he thinks it's like I'm putting like all you guys' responsibility on me, but that's not really the case here.
Mm.
But from your perspective, it just takes time and just understands like how can I make sure that I'm taking care of myself, whatever career I'm doing. And
Yeah.
if I'm doing multiple things at one time, it's still a huge and I keep using the word burden to me to keep track of everything that I'm doing.
It's a lot. I think it is a lot. And I think um it's very easy to look at the person next to us and be like, well, they're doing A, B, and C, so I must be falling behind because I'm only doing A, or like I'm doing H. Like I'm doing A, H, and Q, and they've got like A, B, and C. Like, am I doing something wrong? Or I'm not even at the alphabet yet. Like there's so many things that I think can get in your head, but that's where like having a support system and being your own support system, and it's really important to, at least for me, it's really helped to kind of be like, everybody does this differently. This will look differently for everybody, and you take it at the pace that you take it, and you can be a beginner in some spaces and an expert in others, and it doesn't, you know, that doesn't change. It just means that you're building different skill sets, and it takes time, and like not everything's going to be great immediately, or this person might be really, really good at this thing, but you're really, really good at this thing. And so it's become like, how can these two things come together versus, oh, I'm in the wrong place? You
Hmm.
know,
That and
how can we
yeah,
build
that and
things?
also, comparison is the thief of joy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And we should be celebrating each other, and we should be, getting excited. That is something I really do love about this community as well. Um, I'm really, really thankful and grateful for the people that I've met here. And I have never met a more supportive artistic community. Like everybody is always so ready to celebrate one another and to be excited and support each other, whether it's theater or film or voiceover or just like life things. Like everybody's, going through a hard time, and I have one friend, it's an absolute angel, and they bake for fun, and then you show up and they're like, "Hey, I got some cookies," and I trade that for a cup of soup, and like I'll make a big thing of chili and I'll send some over, and I think that's such a strong like web to build that'll support everything else, I think, which is
But
really
hey,
important.
remember to enjoy the small victories and the small moments in life.
Hmm.
Don't forget that. Big
Hmm.
moments are good, but I just want to take it slow right now.
Yeah.
So nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Um, we're out of that section now. Now we're in section two, the voice acting in anime and game work as well.
Love it.
Now, when you step into a booth for anime versus a video game, how does your mindset or preparation change? And can you give me an
Mm.
example of a few characters that you've done for that?
Yeah. I think generally I try to go in with the same mindset. It's definitely a different process in like if we're talking specifically anime versus video games, but I always try to go in ready to ready to play, ready to make choices. Sometimes you can do homework and sometimes you can't. And so if I'm able to
Deadlines.
do homework, then I want to do as much homework as I can. Um, but if I can't, then it's sort of just like I keep thinking of like just going in open and ready to make a choice or play with your director or play with the people and just kind of be the puzzle piece that they need to fit in, if that makes sense. Like we're kind of building this puzzle piece or we're painting by numbers and like this is my contribution. I'm ready to make it. So I think both of those, if we're talking anime and video game, both of them, require you to really think on your feet and anything really, acting really requires you to be prepared in the sense of like ready to do your job in that moment versus like, well, how much research have you done, if that makes sense. And there is research and there is ways to mentally prepare for something. Um, but I think being physically present and ready to work and warmed up and ready to go is, I don't want to say more important, but it is just as important because if you're not warm and ready, then you can't fully embody what you're doing. Um, and that also means like trusting your director, trusting your engineer, trusting the people around you that you're all going to work together to produce something.
Right. Hey, you're right. Exactly. And sometimes you have to find like different angles when it's like, because listen, anime and video games are two different things.
Hmm.
So it's not the same thing. You have to like figure out, okay, so I'm in the video game world now. So how are we doing this? Because also you didn't do your thing where you like give me example of a few characters you did
Mm,
that you like. Can you give me a few examples in that question? Like the characters?
sure. Yeah. For both or
Yeah, for both.
so in terms of anime, I've been Alicia in Clevites, Ayano Toki in Laid Back Camp, Kaoru in I Shall Survive Using Potions. Most recently, you can hear me in I play a couple of smaller characters amongst some of the other series that are happening currently. I was Melfira in Past the Monster Meet Milady. And in terms of video games, there's some voiceover things I've done, but a lot of what I've done in terms of voiceover has been motion capture. I did motion capture for Doom, and as well as I was Conway in Borderlands, which was that was voice acting versus motion capture, but
Those were pretty
um,
big. Those still count. Those are pretty big game franchises. And see, now I'm excited now because they're getting ready to announce Gears of War E-Day, the trailer tomorrow.
nice.
So I was like, finally, after 7 years, we got a new Gears of War game. I've been dying. So,
Yes.
I do need patience. But yeah, it's Doom, Borderlands, motion capture, because I know, because what was that people? Oh, wait. I know what I'm talking about. So Liam McClare, if I can pronounce his name correctly, and Laura Bailey. I think you know who Laura Bailey is.
Hmm.
They did motion capture for Gears 5.
Mm.
So really, really good, amazing stuff. So I know,
Hmm.
and I know like because how does y'all also wear like costumes, right? You're not wearing like light bulbs around the costume or something.
Um, we have like a reflective, it's different for each studio, but it's a lot of imagination. Mocap is a lot of imagination.
Yeah, because also Darian told me that she wanted to do motion capture when she goes to Los Angeles for more opportunities.
Yeah. That
So
is also, I would agree. That is something I would love to do more of, and in the LA space as well. It's a lot of fun. It kind of feels like this is a weird, but it feels like kind of being a big kid and you're like, all right, I've got my pipe, that's my sword, and I just get to go play pretend and imaginary and it's like different than film because it's a little bit bigger and you've got to figure out like gestures, if you're doing depending on the style of game that you're doing. But it's also different than theater because it's still like sometimes you've got tangible thing. Like it's kind of a mix of everything and it feels really exciting to do.
okay, okay. Yeah, because I've been watching a few behind the scenes of all the games you guys be doing, even in those in LA. I was actually watching this funny one when they did Watch Dogs Legion back in 2020. That
Mm.
game was still amazing. They said the game was not that good. I still enjoyed it actually.
Mm.
So, listen, even if bad games don't look good, you still need to play. I mean, they still look good. But now I will say the Avengers game was terrible. That
Oh.
Avengers game was trash.
Oh no.
Yes, like trust me, Katie. If you play the game right now, they stopped selling it in stores, and they
Oh
stopped selling it
no.
on Xbox or something. I think they still have the digital version, but yes, Avengers was trash.
Oh God.
Yes. So when I was watching that behind the scenes clip with Noam Jenkins as Aiden Pierce, and then I forgot the other guy's name, he was Wrench. That first scene when they meet each other cracked me up because as he was saying, "Whoa, whoa, hold on a second. Again, wait, I know you. He'll give me that. This, no, no, three. Yeah, I kind of need it for a thing two. I guess we're doing this." As he
Yeah.
throws a smoke bomb at him.
Oh my gosh.
And then it takes off. But listen, I'm kind of surprised Noam Jenkins can like keep voicing Aiden because last time we saw Aiden Pierce was 2014. We get to 2020. And I was like, it's been 6 years since Watch Dogs came out. Lord have mercy, time flies.
Time does fly.
And so I still play the Watch Dogs series. It's still a really good series because I like how they like showing I'm sorry if I'm going off topic. I'm geeking out here.
No, I'm listening.
When they were showing Watch Dogs 2014, I don't know if you played Watch Dogs back then.
I played a little bit.
Yeah, they were showing how they were like hackers with technology and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of fictional. It's not real life stuff, but it could happen. They even mentioned like the blackout of 2003 in that
Mm.
game as well. And yes, that did happen in our real world today. The blackout in 2003 did happen.
Mm.
So yeah. Listen, Katie, when you get a chance, research it. It's there. It's there.
Okay.
Trust me. And then with Watch Dogs 2, they the creators at Ubisoft wanted to make sure they got all of the city's elements in the game. So that's why some of you guys from LA had to travel to Chicago to get a full picture
Mm.
like Chicago and know exactly how you're going to put this in the game. And guess what? Y'all didn't have to move as much in California because Watch Dogs 2 took place in San Francisco.
Oh.
And guess what? It took me until 2018 to realize the game takes place in San Francisco, California. I still want to check out California so bad.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful out there.
Yeah, especially Oakland
Mm.
and Los Angeles. But yeah, the game mostly takes place in San Francisco.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a big place. It's an open world thing. And then the Watch Dogs Legion takes place in the future, like in the 2030s. Like so like
Ooh.
2029, 2030,
Mm-hmm.
and like the futurized fictional place of London, England.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, I'm just throwing all this knowledge out here. It's
No,
I just
I'm absorbing it. It's cool.
so yeah, all those all everything that you see in those games, they did like I like how they like show us what the future looks like.
Hmm.
Because I think you've heard what AI is going crazy these days.
Yes.
It's getting out of hand. And
Mm-hmm.
we've seen all these games where they dealt like AI and computers. There was this one mission and called, like the 404 kind of thing, the Sky Larson, where she's trying to like control her stuff called Operation Daybreak, where she's trying to put human minds into computers so they can live forever, which is kind of twisted because she's calling the shots.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And guess what? She betrayed her own mother. Like she killed her own mother and put her brain into an AI computer. I
What?
know I know that's terrifying.
Yeah.
And guess what? You can also play as Aiden Pearson Wrench in that game.
Mm,
So that's why he was saying, and you knew I wasn't your daughter. You wanted to show me.
that's
So
wild.
so that's why Sky's mother was trying to tell the player, oh, let me die in peace.
Yeah.
So I had to shut her down.
Oh gosh. Well, and that's what's so, I think, so cool about video games is like get so immersed in these worlds that like it's kind of going back to what I said before that like you would, I mean, like Witcher is one of my favorite video games, Witcher 3. I love that game. And I mean, I would never be a monster. Like that's not that hello, like not here, but the idea of like getting to immerse yourself in a super different world is so cool and it's so exciting and like hearing what excites different people is so neat.
Exactly. Oh, shoot. If you can, I think you still do a lot of motion capture stuff. So if you do any new prize, I might want to see some reels or something. That way I can see how y'all do things.
Hmm.
So, next up, now this is going to be your favorite one, okay? Now, working with studios like Crunchyroll, Gearbox, and ID Software, what have those different environments taught you about performance?
Oh, I feel like it's kind of it's like something I've said before, but it's literally like good people make good work. And I feel very lucky that in each of those, three spaces, they're incredible people that like are excited about doing the work, are passionate about whatever project we're working on, and want to take care of each other. Um, and I think that strengthens whatever project we're working on, whatever we're building. There's consideration and not just, between like a director and an actor, but like all across the board. Like there's so many people that are involved in these projects, and it's nice to see that like thread there. Um and it's really refreshing to be in a space where people are happy to be doing or happy to be working on what they're working on or excited about a project or.
Well, hey, when you do that stuff, you got to listen to what other people's ideas are. We said this before. Like, I want to see what you guys are thinking so we can make the magic happen.
Hmm.
So yeah, you want to make you listen. You gotta listen to each other's thoughts because you combine ideas. Let's listen to this guy's opinion. See if we can see if it works. If it doesn't work, listen to another person. See if we can make something happen. Because listen, Katie, I know you got so many ideas in that brain of yours.
Yeah, they run a little fast when they're on caffeine, but they're there, I promise.
Well, shoot, make sure you put them down. Make sure you put it in notes or something. Get a notebook out and start sketching.
Dude, I've tried like voice memos and stuff, but that's kind of what's cool about, my experiences because I've, had very limited experience as just as an actor in certain spaces, but like going back to a question that you asked before, like going in and being ready to hear those ideas and trust that these people have this vision that you get to be a part of and like, okay, how can I take this thing? How can I take this piece that is my little piece and have it connect and flow with the idea, like the main vision of the project, I think is really it's like it's like Tetris, and I really like that. Like
Oh, don't get me
occasionally
started with
I don't get rage from puzzle games, but Tetris
oh,
is fun.
sometimes Tetris and a Rubik's Cube. Oh, it makes my brain hurt.
Oh, I can't. Rubik's cubes or I can't do it. I admire anybody who can do it, and I'm when they like flip it through really fast, I'm like, that's so cool.
You got to be like a brainiac, just like, the Riddler and all that stuff in Batman. Like he's a genius. He claims to be a genius, but Batman always outsmart him.
He's got those riddles, man.
And then sometimes every time I will say something funny. This is from Arkham Knight again. I like quoting funny stuff from games and these things. Yeah, he was upset when Batman outsmarted him again in that last test to save Catwoman. And he
Mhm.
was like, do you have a photographic memory, detective? Because I do. I can summon your sneering features at will. That is
Mhm.
where they don't suddenly burst unbidden into my brain. I have perfect recall too. I can remember every time you've hurt me.
Oh,
And he was like, some I'm laughing here. I'm trying to get good focus. He was like, sometimes I wake up dark night to the feel of your hands wrapped tight around my neck, your carbon fiber coat with a fist smashing into my solar plexus.
dang.
Yes, as how dare you brutalize me? Me, you're better, or me, you're inter superior, the Riddler, and the world's greatest everything. You're a thug detective, a bullying emblem of the arrogant notion that might makes right. Come back to the orphanage, where I will end you and all the things that you stand for.
Dang.
Well, hey, he's pissed off.
I mean, yeah, that was a good line right there. I was invested.
Hey, well, Wally Wickard has his moments.
That was really good.
I do want to meet Wally Wigger one of these days. I want to tell him, dude, Riddler will not stop talking to games. Why did you have to do that? I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not mad about it. It's part of the game. I just want to ask him why though. Well,
Right.
to bring out the brainiac in him. That's
A
probably what he's
more
gonna tell him.
intense Mad Hatter, if you will.
Exactly. So yes, like shoot, puzzles and all that stuff. Listen to people's ideas. Like
Hmm.
give them a challenge. Like shoot, I see now. I'm thinking of like like breaking down. Listen, I like being analytical and researching things. Oh my gosh, Katie, you got me fired up now. So, so you guys, listen, I just like researching things. I like knowing things. Is that a crime?
No. My ADHD brain, I got a million tabs up all the time.
A lot of tabs, because
A
there's
lot of tabs.
information you don't want to lose.
Right? Yep, I literally like I'll go through and save videos sometimes on like social media and they're like how to do this or like here's a cool reference for drawing this thing and I'm like great, saved, and then I'll have to go through all of my saves and like organize them otherwise they're gone. And so I'm like, okay, here we go. And you just like learn a bunch of stuff all in one day and I'm like this was amazing. And everybody's like, "Are you resting?" I'm like, "I swear this is peaceful for me. I swear."
Well, shoot, Katie, don't overdo it too much. Make sure you get some rest too. But yes,
Yeah.
it's good to like when you have working with all those studios, listening to all the your co-workers and Crunchyroll and the directors and tell you what you're doing. Yeah, you want to make sure you listen to everybody's opinions.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, yeah, keep doing that. Oh, next up, now here's another question about characters, okay? And I just need you to give me a few examples of the characters you've done with this situation, okay?
Love.
Now, when you're building a character with limited visual context, what's your process for making them feel grounded? And can you give me a few characters examples?
Yeah, I don't know that I have built a character in voiceover yet that didn't have some kind of visual
Context.
context. But I think it happens there's sometimes when you play NPCs or something along those lines in video games, there's not always visual context. And it's also in theater. There isn't like here's a picture of this character. Like you are the character. And so I think it's whether it's in voiceover or theater or even film, I think it's just like where's this character coming from and understanding the character on an internal level and not just because it visually it can definitely help inform your performance, especially for something like voiceover, but in general characters always have an internal life, and so finding that internal life I think definitely helps um keep them grounded and within the world that they're trying to be. And then again, listening to your director, listening to your team, and if they say something's off, you gotta trust them um and make adjustments, where needed.
Okay. So yeah, because I know, listen, with you guys, like I said before, I don't know if you heard me when I was like, I didn't mean to speak over you earlier.
No, you're good.
I was saying you guys have deadlines, so there's really not a lot of time to,
Mm.
do these certain things. But I guess for you, I don't think you've had that situation before with any characters that have visual content. Okay, maybe if it's like a new movie that's coming up, maybe there isn't a lot of time or something. Because I know Mauricio Ortiz-Segura, you know who he is. When he
Mhm.
did Guyo Gandhi from My Hero Academia, he really didn't have enough like context to get started because this was an original character that he had to do for the movie. So there really wasn't much he can do about it. So he just just did what he could when he
Yeah,
got
and you
there.
can it's especially if it's if it's something that already exists, you can kind of like we said before, like you can do your homework and it's like, oh no, I have to watch an anime for my job or like I have to play a video game that you know what I mean? Like you can do any of the research to kind of help bring your character into that space.
Mm. So yeah, it's like you gotta use like I say, you're on a short string, so there's really much
Yeah.
you can do. And and for anyone who doesn't understand what that means is we're just in a situation with limited tools at our disposal.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, this I just want to make sure you understand that, or if anyone else listening to this understands that too.
Hmm. No, I think that
So
makes a lot of sense. You gotta, it's like, I think a lot of acting is just like being a detective and just finding the clues around that you can kind of put together and build something.
well, hey, put on your detective hats.
Exactly. You need your magnifying glass.
There you go. Sherlock Holmes.
Heck
Gotta love
yeah.
those. Shoot. He is the world's greatest detective. Well, okay, maybe Batman's the same way, but
Mm.
So I remember that scene in Batman the Brave and the Bold back then. I was, oh shoot, I got more shows to watch again. He was saying like, before you depart, I must ask, how did you really deduce who I am? Because everyone knows who you are. You're the
Yeah.
world's greatest detective.
Da, da, da.
I need to watch that again. Derek Badger, he did a good Batman.
Mm, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm still watching those Batman shows. I don't care how old they get.
No, rewatch, but I think there's incredible stuff all over. So,
And plus, it's art. It's a masterpiece.
hmm.
So, now the next session is about motion capture and physical performance. I
Ooh.
think you'll like this one because you love motion capture, don't you? Yes, you do. You like motion capture.
Just a little.
Now, motion capture is such a different beast.
Mm.
What was your first experience like stepping into that world? Part two, I forgot to mention this is a two-part question. How does your approach to acting change when your entire body is part of the performance instead of just your voice?
Mm. First experience reminded me that I need to go to the gym more often. It was definitely a like, okay, you need endurance for this and you need stamina and here we go. Like, because you're just going and going and going and going and it's different from going vocally because that's its own kind of stamina with singing lessons and all sorts of things. But this was like it was a nice reminder of like the connection that you have physically with the characters that you can play. So even when you're doing a voiceover job, like I still try to be as physical as possible because it helps me as an actor get into the headspace of wherever I'm in or whatever I'm at. That was a really big one with like Alicia uh and all of the fighting and all of that kind of stuff that she had to do. So yeah, I think it was definitely a reminder of like it's okay to continue to learn. There's still room to grow. And the team that you're working with, like they want to be a team. You guys want to work together, and it was very collaborative and very fun. And um, I've been very lucky that the environments that I've been a part of have been very supportive and took great care of us and it was just everybody knew kind of what they wanted and we got to explore like it left room for explore and like excitement in that way.
Yeah, one thing I will say, yes, working out is key too, because you have listen, so many actors, not just like motion capture, who do like movies, they have to like do all kinds of like dieting and stuff. Of
Mm.
listen, I'm not doing those things, but I'm still going to the gym every day. Like, shoot, I went to the gym last week because I'm trying to get back to. You think it's tomorrow? I got plans to go running at a park,
Nice.
so I go there every Sunday because it's a beautiful day out there.
Hmm.
So listen, Katie, please go to a park and go run.
We literally, so the complex that we moved into has like a huge trail next door, so it's great.
There you go.
And
Listen,
especially before it gets so hot that I have to hide under an umbrella every time I go outside.
yeah, thing is, sometimes after a long week, I just want to get away from stuff, so I just try to be with nature for a bit.
I think that's great. It's very needed, to be honest.
You know, because a lot can happen in a whole week,
A lot
and
can
it's
happen in a
a
whole
lot
week.
of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff. We just,
Yep,
but I just go to the park to try to reconnect with myself a little bit for the next week starts.
that's super, especially to get that sort of it's solitary time, but it doesn't always feel like solitary time because you're in nature, so it feels a little bit bigger, if that makes sense. Like it's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yes, yeah, go to the parks. But yes, the motion capture and the voice hadn't changed. Like, sometimes you got to learn how to, adapt to different environments as well. Like
hmm
you're in the booth recording, like, right now you got your own booth right now. But when you transition to motion capture, you really need to start doing a lot of stuff, a lot of movements.
Yeah.
They may have you on lines as well, but the
Ooh.
key thing is to also stay healthy and fit as well.
Yeah, I think it's just and it's being adaptable, like what we said, like being able to take because each of those things is just a skill set and you build them over time and so you kind of get that you take the same base and as long as you keep the base strong, then you can build on it.
hmm Exactly. So yeah. So I actually kind of like the motion picture because I've been seeing some stunts on YouTube. Listen, sometimes I go on YouTube and watch all the stunts they do. So I can be like, man, let's look
It's
behind the
stunt
scenes
stuff
of.
is cool. Stunt stuff is super cool.
hmm Yeah. The only problem is, you gotta be careful and don't make any wrong moves or you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm thinking of another thing when I was watching a regular show, The Heart of a Stunt Man, and they ran into this dude
Ooh.
who's supposed to train them and all that stuff. That's later in like season 6, 5 or 6. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, they saw the guy and one eye was like dilated and turned the other way. Like, it wasn't all the way back. And one guy had his eye in front. I was like, ugh, are you
Oh my
okay?
gosh.
Okay, of course. What do you think
Okay.
any guy would look like after being in 36 comas?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I don't think doing that still works for me. Like riding off a
I'm
motorcycle into
okay.
the air. No, I won't be doing that. You got
Yeah.
to be like Kick Buttowski's Suburban Daredevil, another Disney show.
Yeah.
So go watch that too. It's really good.
Ooh.
So, but yeah, yeah. Listen, there's pros and cons to motion capture. You can have fun and move your body and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Cons is you got to be careful and not break anything.
Yeah. Well, and thankfully, again, having a team that takes care of you and you being able to advocate for yourself and knowing your limits and what you can and can't do is super important.
Yes.
Yeah.
So. Oh, next up, now you've done work and projects like Doom and Borderlands, as you discussed earlier. What's something fans would be surprised to learn about those performances are created?
I think the biggest thing is just that there's so many people behind one performance. Like it's never just one person building the character. Like there's so many ideas and I know we've touched on this topic a lot tonight, but
No,
just
no, no, it's fine. Touch it as many times as we can.
okay. But like there is it's never just one person and you know there could be brilliant ideas that come from all over the place, but there's a whole huge team of people just bringing one character, one piece to life. And I think that's really, really important to keep in mind is that it is a huge group thing. And so,
Group thing. And listen, you got stunt doubles too. So
yeah.
there's that as well.
hmm
So yeah, like it's not just one person doing the stuff. There's other people. Like, listen, I've seen so many. I seen so many other performances. I was like, okay, so it's not just them. Listen, I was only a kid when I saw them watching behind the scenes when they did Captain America: Civil War back in 2016.
Mm.
It's not the actual voice actors as well. They also got stunt doubles.
And even beyond the stunt doubles and the actors, like there's so many people, especially on a set, there's so many people that contribute to creating this vision. And it's so honestly, it's one of my favorite things, especially when I'm on set, is to just watch everybody just like be in their element and doing the thing that like excites them, or like, you know, when someone's really passionate or really, really kind of honed into what they're doing, it's just so fascinating to watch. It's like watching someone play the piano or the guitar. It's so cool to see people be passionate about what they're doing.
Hmm. Yeah, and and also I will say this, you got all those like people, visual effects as well, because I know y'all do. I was gonna ask you, Katie, don't y'all also do like bloopers on set as well?
I mean, I don't know that I've ever been a part of like a blooper reel, but I mean, bloopers happen. Things happen
It
all the time, and you
it
just
could
gotta roll
happen.
with it. Yeah,
It could
you just
happen.
gotta
I
roll
would
with
like to
it.
see. Here's the one thing that I really don't hate, that I really don't like about Crunchyroll. Okay, you guys don't do bloopers. Y'all need to do bloopers to make it more entertaining.
I would love to see bloopers. They're so fun because things happen all the time. It would definitely be fun, that's for sure.
Yeah, because I was like, come on, the people in the studios when they make all these blockbuster films, they do bloopers. Why don't the people in Crunchyroll studios not do bloopers? Like,
Right.
how does that make sense?
I don't know.
That's the one thing that I don't like about Crunchyroll. Y'all don't do any bloopers.
Mm, I would love a blooper reel. I think it'd be super fun. And that's again like that's what got me hooked in TV and film was like watching everybody have a good time on the other end of it. So I think
Mhm.
they'd be great.
All right. Well, shoot, listen, I'm going to encourage you to tell your fellow coworkers to do bloopers, okay? If you can, that is.
Hmm. I'll drop a little note in.
Okay. Last question, and then we'll be in stage combat and theater back one, okay? Now, do you feel motion capture is the future of performance or just one piece of a bigger puzzle?
Oh, I think it's definitely one piece of a bigger puzzle, but kind of on a more broad sense, it's a human performance, and I think that does need to be encouraged, and that especially right now when all of this AI stuff is happening, like I always think of Baldur's Gate, and I absolutely adore it because those performances are so human. And there's so many, there's so many video games. I mean, um, that we just talked about several of them in this interview, and they're just, I think that core is so important, um, that we don't want to lose that. And so I definitely think, and I hope that motion capture is a huge part of things continuing to move forward because that human connection and that emotion and that vulnerability that so many actors and so many performers and beyond have given, um it's just like it's like that whole ecosystem that we've been talking about is that's part of it. And without that, I think sometimes things just you need that human connection, you need that humanness in something.
Definitely those humans. And listen, motion capture is coming a thing these days, and we need more of that. And same thing what you said with AI and everything. I had a discussion with Ryan Bartley last month during anime, of course. Perfect timing for anime. I was lucky because I've been trying to talk to her for almost a year.
Oh wow.
So, she's been seeing all my stuff, but I was like, listen, I was trying to get her to come to my hometown, but listen, Katie, I was preaching to the choir. So, but that's all I could do. So, same thing with AI, but when I was telling her about what's it like voicing AI characters, and her response was, the thing is, these characters, even though they are AI, the story revolves around how human they are.
Mm,
So, like, characters like Sage from Song Frontiers, then Yuna from Sword Art Online, they're both AI characters that she's done, but they're still trying to be human at the end of the day.
mm. I think human at the end of the day is what
Mhm.
we can ask for and what we should be asking for.
Exactly. Human emotion, all that stuff. And, I like seeing stories like that. Like sometimes computers got feelings. You just don't know
Mm,
until you start watching the performances on TV.
mm.
Mhm. So I'll tell you I'll tell you a little something funny. There was another stuff with Gears of War. See, I mentioned Gears of War. This is because I'm excited about the new game ain't tomorrow. When Gears 5, when he has an AI, Damon Bear created an AI that understands sarcasm.
Oh, wow.
So her name is Iris. And
Hmm.
so when he was saying stuff like I'm trying to remember the lines what Kate Diaz, Laura Bay was saying, like, man, I know you were kind of upset when Jim threw you in here. There actually, and then the AI was starting to tattletale. Oh, she was saying actually Damon Bear was very critical of the High Minister, referring to her as like, let's not get into the specifics here, Iris. By the way, why would you tell them that? That-
Yeah.
And then she said, "I'm just telling Diaz how you truly feel." Whoa,
Mm.
inappropriate sarcasm, emotion sickness. Iris, are you sure you're not secretly my mother? Yeah, let's hope. Oh, she ain't secretly his mother because she was getting ready to snitch on him.
Oh, geez.
You know how these computers are. Well, that's fiction, but real life is a different story. But you see what I'm
Right.
talking about. If
Right.
I if I if I'm relating this to what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Okay, okay. Uh, Now that we're done with that section, we're getting closer and closer to the end. Are you enjoying our discussion so far?
Yeah, I'm loving it. I think it's great. 'Cause,
Sorry, I was thinking of that. I was thinking of that, edited scene from Gears of War 2, which was hilarious.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was playing. That's the other thing I was going to say too. Like, man, why do they cut out so many scenes in these games and shows that we be watching?
Mm. And that's so interesting too, because I love seeing like directors' extended versions and like um things that were removed from like the original cut of things. I think those are really fun to see. But then sometimes from like a through line, you can kind of see like, oh, I understand like why this piece had to be let go, but it's such a good piece. So like it's
Yeah.
cool that you still get a chance to see things.
Yeah, I was playing that 2 nights ago, the Road to Ruin cutscene where they had to fight and then with guns blazing to get to Nexus. There was a few funny moments in there because when they were trying to get to another set of doors, one of the locust creatures came out and just activated a hatch that made them drop into a cell.
Oh wow.
Oh, so that's why Marcus was like, "We got company." And then once
Yeah.
he had to activate, he was like, "Shit!" It,
Yeah.
they fell. Oh,
Oh
I was
geez.
like, he was like, "We are not getting processed."
Fair.
Yes. So, and then they managed to rescue Franklin from the first Gears of War.
Ooh.
So that's why he was saying. So, I got a question. And how the hell we getting out of here? We're not. Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean the fuck we're not?
Yeah.
I,
It's
I,
so cool that things like that, they're almost like movies that you can just sort of enjoy even if you're not, like actively playing the game.
exactly. Because he also like, because he also said, don't you know how bad it smells down here? Shut it, Franklin. You're on your own.
Oh God.
And that's what Marcus Phoenix said. Just shut up. You're by yourself.
Oh,
He said, "Hey, when I get out of here, when I see a way out, I'm taking it."
true.
Yeah, see, now I want to play it again. This is so good.
There you
Good.
go.
So, so before you left, we're trying to continue with stage combat and theater background. I'll try to keep
Mhm.
it as short as possible. Okay.
Sure.
So this is going to be a two-part question. So you're trained in stage combat with SAFD, if I got that correct.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, how has that discipline influenced the way you approach acting overall? Part two. Now, there's a level of trust and danger in stage combat.
Hmm.
What's going through your mind in those moments in on stage or on set?
So what did it teach me and what's going through my mind when I'm doing it?
Hmm.
Uh, um, I would say to answer the first part, I think it's definitely like you can figure out tough things. Like you can figure out hard things. Because I deal with some like chronic illness and chronic pain, every once in a while. And sometimes it's really frustrating to love something so much that demands a lot. And even meant like when I first started it, like there were a lot of moments when it's starting to get into your body and you're starting to learn it that it doesn't always connect and you feel a little disjointed. And I get frustrated sometimes when I'm learning a new skill because it's like I feel like sort of that thing we talked about in the beginning where it's like I should be better than this. I should be further than I actually am, when it's like, can you calm down? Like, you're a beginner. Like, figure this, you're fine. You know, there's this like pressure to be past the point that I'm at. Um, and so there was this like, hey, take your time. Like, you can figure it out. You can work through tough problems and come out the other side. And so I think that discipline was definitely something that it taught me, as well as control and being aware of my body in space, which I think is very important for a lot of things. And um when I'm actively like in a a combat situation, um in a show or in something that requires it, I think truthfully, I think what's going through my mind is just what's happening in the present, because ideally you've, worked with your partner and you've worked with your choreographer, and they've taken you through enough times that it's just kind of in your body. And so I think part of the joy, and even just in acting, like part of the joy is getting to let go of not having to think about every little thing and just letting it flow. And again, trusting your partner in that, like, if something happens, the two of you will handle it. And there are so many safety checks that get put in to a fight. There are so many safety checks because at the end of the day, you're working with your partner, you're not working against them. So it's almost more like dancing rather than fighting. You're just making it really messy. And there's so many things that like kind of keep you guys in check that should happen naturally when you're partnering well together, but also like in order for it to happen naturally, you have to have had the work up to that point where it becomes second nature. Um, and so I think the best thing you can do when you're in the middle of something is stay present. So then if something happens, it's not a like, oh, this is going to halt everything, but you can easily kind of readjust and get back on track with who and where you need to be,
Okay,
I
yeah,
think.
because when I first saw the word stage fright, I was like, they're not really actually fighting each other, are they?
Yep.
But now I'm actually getting understanding it from you since I've been seeing about, because I think I've seen, because I don't think I've seen any clips, but I heard about stage fright. I just never researched what it was about because I just didn't have the time or
Mhm.
energy to do so.
Yeah. And it's very like I didn't really do a lot of research on it either until I started taking classes in college, and I really fell in love with the ability to, wield a sword. Like that's, I mean, hey, that's amazing and super fun. But then as I learned more about it, and I'm still, learning more about it, um, it's become so much closer to dancing and trust and working with someone versus like, oh yeah, I can knock this person out. It's like, no, how do you make it look like you're knocking this person out while keeping them like so incredibly safe, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, we don't want each other to kill each other now.
No, that's nice.
So yeah, let's not do that. But yeah, stage kind of seems like really fun stuff to do. So I hope to see more of that from you,
I
as well
hope
as
to do more
as
of it
well
for
as
sure.
and now that I'm hearing about me, I need to do some more YouTube videos and see what look at it a little bit.
Yeah, it's real fun. It's
I just want to take a peek and see what it's about.
yeah.
So, let's see. Last question, and then we'll be at the next part, which is identity, industry, and representation.
Mm,
Because hey, it's Pride Month as well.
it's Pride Month. Happy Pride.
There you go. Now, you perform classical works like Twelfth Night and Taming of the Shrew. Now,
Mhm.
what do those roles teach you that modern projects don't?
That things are still relevant whether they're from then or now. And how do you take an idea that may be a little outdated, like Taming of the Shrew, for instance, and how do you update it to tell the story that you want to tell? Or can you update it? Or do you have to honor the original idea? And
Mhm.
that's something we've kind of been looking at in terms of the show that we're putting up in October. Like it is an adaptation of something, and it's been a lot of like, okay, well, how do we take the idea that we have and connect it to the script while also still telling our idea of what the story and who these characters are, while keeping it true and honorable to what this person wrote in the past. And I think it's, you don't have to necessarily do that for modern pieces because it's there. Like it's written in our time, it's written in our vernacular, it's written for our lives and our age. But taking something like Shakespeare, you're going to have to like, even if you don't translate the words themselves, there's still something to connect to in 2026 in Shakespeare. There's still something to connect to. And I think finding that is really cool and like it kind of, if we're running with like detective and whatever, like it's like an archaeology dig, where you can kind of brush off these pieces and be like, there's like really prominent stuff here, and let's connect those ideas. But also there were so many different forms of theater. There are so many different forms of theater and film and acting techniques that it sort of expands your idea of what this could be. Like, there's Shakespeare and that used to be performed a very specific way, but now we can perform it in a different way, or, things like that. But there's Commedia dell'arte, which is so big and so physical, but still so fun because like human jokes were human jokes and human connection was human connection. Like, we might know a Romeo and a Juliet, or we might connect to a Caterina or know a Petruchio, or like these are still human characters. And so learning how to kind of bring that into what you're doing, I think is important and exciting and
Hey.
expansive in a way that like I think sometimes modern spaces aren't, but they're expansive in a different way, so
Yeah. And some of those books that you've seen in high school, all the William Shakespeare, like, you know, let's see, what's that one called? I forget, Macbeth,
Uh-huh.
Hamlet, all that stuff, all those Shakespeare stories can really teach you what to do when you're doing something like, Taming and of the Shrew. That can really
Mhm.
like, listen, go back and look at Shakespeare's work. It can listen, some of the old stuff that you've been this probably won't help me as much. And now you get to a point in life where it's like, I need this for this career that I'm doing.
Mhm.
Little lesson, kids, stay in school. You learn a whole lot. Listen, sometimes I want to be helping the people like kids. I do work with kids on the weekdays as well,
Oh, cool.
helping with on class and all that stuff, and I'd be telling them like stuff saying it's called a metaphor when I was
It's
trying to correct when I was trying to get on
yeah.
them. And guess what, one of the other kids was asking me what's a metaphor, or I was like, hey, you go to school, right? You should learn it.
Yeah. I
I
do
was
love a
like,
good metaphor.
and I was like, do you guys not know what a metaphor is? I guess y'all not at that level yet. I'm gonna have to teach you what a metaphor means.
That's awesome.
I was like, these silly kids, they don't know what a metaphor is.
Oh no. Everybody's got to love a good metaphor.
Well, it's my job to help them to understand that. But yes, make
That's
sure,
cool.
listen, use what you learned from school to help you from like those projects. If you're doing an acting class, you might need to read some Shakespeare for a bit.
Yeah, and I think again, like you can kind of decide where and what you like. Like there are certain techniques that I think work better for me and certain techniques that I won't touch. And, some people really like Shakespeare and for some people it's not for them, but there's always, I think getting to test those little things and getting to try on and open a book or like stand on like learn why Shakespeare wrote the way he did, or why this character in Commedia behaves the way that they do. Like it kind of teaches you not only about the show and expands your mind, but it like kind of shows you what was going on at the time, or it can show you. I think a piece of art can show you a lot.
Piece of art, whatever art I can take, hey,
Hmm.
it'll work.
Hmm.
Shoot, is my light getting dim? It feels like it's getting dim.
Oh
Wait,
no.
okay, that's just a lot as far as it go. I charged the darn thing last night.
Oh.
So. One last question, then we'll be in identity and representation. The next one's going to be like a two-part question, and then we'll be at the finale. Okay, but let's finish this section
Sure.
first. Now, taking a production to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival is huge. Now, what did that experience mean to you as an artist? That's gotta be amazing to go to a festival.
Yeah, I mean it it meant everything. It means everything. I think it was a representation, at least to me. First of all, it was incredible because I got to go with my partner and, some of my best friends and do a show for fun in Edinburgh. Like that was incredible. But also we saw really good art, and it wasn't just theater. It was all like I was actually cleaning out my phone 2 nights ago, and there was like this guy who had like a clear ball, and he was like doing that cool like rotating thing where it looks like it's floating. And there was a guy like singing, he had like a piano in the middle of the street, like literally in the middle of the street. He's just like playing the piano. And there was a guy standing on stilts, and he was juggling fire. Like it was just like there were so many different pieces of art and like artists, and there was just so much there that it was just really inspiring and exciting. Um but yeah, I mean it meant everything. I would love to go back. I would love to do it again. Um
You
it was
should. If you
it was
do another
really
project
cool.
and you get nominated, go to it. Katie, please do not go to it. Please go to it.
Oh, if I ever get the opportunity again, I will absolutely. I would be over the moon to go again.
Hey, make sure you send some pictures now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, um, so now that we're in that section, now we're in an identity in industry and representation.
Hmm.
So now, as a gender fluid and queer performer, if I got this correctly,
Yeah.
yes, how
Hmm.
has your identity shaped your experience in the industry, both creatively and professionally? Part
Mm.
two, do you feel like the industry is evolving when it comes to representation and inclusivity, or is there still a long way to go?
Mm. I think to answer the first part of the question, honestly, I think my art has influenced and given me a chance to explore my identity more than any other space ever has. And so I feel very thankful actually that I chose the career path that I did, because it kind of getting to try on other people's shoes and walk in other people's shoes, and it helped me learn a lot about myself, and I think it helps me reflect on who I am and who I want to be. And I have really gotten the chance to do that recently, and I feel very lucky to have been able to do that. But I've also noticed that as I come into myself more, as I um, figure out who I am, the characters that I play tend to be more aligned. Because I did feel there was a time in um, college where I was like playing very specific characters, and as much as I loved doing that, like kind of getting to try on this character, it was sort of they didn't really feel totally connected to me. And since coming out and since kind of getting to explore myself more, um, I feel really connected to a lot of the characters that I've been able to play. And I kind of feel like in general, each character kind of teaches you something about yourself. And so that's been you know, a huge thing because I never really got to explore, who I was when I was younger. Um, and I haven't been out for very long, and art has always been a space where yeah, like I just feel like it's given back to me in a way that I could never reciprocate. Like I'm so grateful for it, I guess. Um, but also having said that, I think the industry has definitely come a long way, but I think there's always room for more, and there is room for more, and there should be room for more improvement in a lot of areas. Um, so I think it's both.
Exactly. Like I said, listen, we doing so great. Let's see what do more. And listen, and I told this to the other LGBTQ people I spoke up to this point. Listen, I don't care what you are, as long as we can continue to make amazing stuff and keep
Mm,
doing what we need to do.
yeah.
So, and lately there's been like so many attacks with LGBTQ going on. It's like it hasn't even been 24 hours, and these guys out here on the internet are just starting to do their thing.
Hmm.
But I was like, well, sucks to be you.
Yeah.
So I ain't gonna let that phase it. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, so yeah, there is more room. That's why you got like so many people and these directors. Shoot, is my screen getting dark? You sure you can still see me?
I can see you.
Okay, because I was like, what is going on with this thing? Is it almost dead?
Oh no.
Wait, yeah, wait, I see him. Oh, it's only at two dots left. Okay,
Oh
so
no.
it'll be fine. It'll be fine though. We're gonna be good. Because I
We
was
got it.
like,
We got
what
it.
the?
We got it.
I charged the thing like last night.
Oh no.
Why are you doing this to me? Yeah, I was just listen. Sometimes when my guests be malfunctioning, I was like, "No, man, come on, no, 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 no.
I
Oh,
know.
come on, don't do Big Daddy like that. Act like that. Come on.
That's how we invented our streaming ghost is because I used to do a lot more streaming. I would love to get back into it, but we would always have something happen, something would go wrong or whatever. And instead of being like, "Oh, I'm sorry," I was like, "Uh-oh, our stream ghost is back at it." And so now she has like a
Oh,
name and she's part of our whole thing. Like it's great.
yeah. Sometimes, and guess what? I do Twitch stream too.
Mm.
Cause thing is, guess what? Sometimes my stream cuts out and then OBS2 has to reload. But here's the thing. I've been prepared all this time. So here's what happened. I had to, what I had to do was
Hmm.
I had to press stream and press record so I could
Yep.
put it on YouTube later.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
had it. Yep. That's really
yeah,
smart.
yeah. I would say in your face.
You thought you
Ish.
were gonna cut off my stream? Well, guess what?
Exactly. Yeah, I just hate when that happens. But
Hmm.
let's try to wrap this up before this light dims because
Oh no.
it's starting to light. Oh, it's still at 2%, but I should be fine. But I don't think it's gonna last much longer. But you can
Yep.
still see me, right?
I can.
Okay. Um, personality, philosophy, fun, closing. Now, outside of acting, you're into plants, travel, animals, music,
Hmm.
and adventure.
Hmm.
What are the things that keep you grounded when the industry does get overwhelming?
Um, Therapy. And also having a really strong community. I mean, again, like some of the best friends in the world I either have here, have made here, they exist outside of here. Um, Having a strong support system and doing all of the things that you love. Like this is something we love, but it's not our only thing we love. And being a fully well-rounded person, I think, is really important and it keeps you steady for sure.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And lastly, do you have any advice for anyone who's trying to get into voice acting or any other career?
Um, I think the biggest thing is don't feel like you have to rush anything. Um, and also like be a little detective. Like you don't have to, it doesn't have to be done one way. Um, but I think as long as you are giving what you're getting, like put in what you're taking out and be curious and be open-minded and ready to support not only yourself but the people around you. And yeah, don't feel like you have to rush. Like don't feel like you have to rush. And the right people will find you as you continue to put in the work that you're doing. And it's not an immediate thing. And some people get really lucky and it's like, bam, go. And for some people it's longer and it's um whatever track your career goes, it's still okay because it's your career and you'll make it what you want it to be.
I second that. I think that wraps up everything, even though my light is being a pain in the
I
butt right now.
know.
So did you enjoy our discussion today? I think we had a great time today.
I had a great time. Thank you for spending Saturday with me. It was great.
Hey, I need something to do on the weekends. Listen, the only thing I was gonna do is just be on my Xbox.
Listen, still a great way to spend a Saturday. So
Yeah.
I've got my PlayStation in the other room. I'm ready to go. I'm so excited about the new God of War game. Like, I'm ready to go.
There you go.